जी मैम, अल्लाह का शुक्र।
लास्ट लेक्चर में हम लोगों ने हैप्पी प्रिंस शुरू कर दी थी या नहीं?
नो मैम, अभी इंट्रो ही किया था, अभी हमें हैप्पी प्रिंस स्टार्ट करना है।
ओके, इंट्रोडक्शन हो गया था कंप्लीट? ओके
मैम कैरेक्टर स्केच के बारे में आपने बताना था, मेजर कैरेक्टर्स।
ओके, एक मिनट। हमने फेयरी टेल डिस्कस कर ली थी, एलिगरी डिस्कस कर ली, लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस भी हो गई थी ना, पर्सोनिफिकेशन, सिमिली, मेटाफर, ये
यस
सब
मैम।
हो गए। ओके,
यस मैम।
सिंबॉलिक कैरेक्टर्स भी हो गए थे, स्टाइलिस्टिक फीचर्स भी, सटायर, आयरनी डिस्कस हो गया था, आयरनी और सटायर।
यस मैम, हो गया था।
मीम्स भी हो गए थे।
यस
ओके
मैम।
ओके, कैरेक्टर्स तो फिर जो है ना वो हम जब स्टोरी पढ़ेंगे साथ साथ डिस्कस करेंगे, और बाकी जब क्वेश्चंस जो है ना बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे तो फिर हम इसको देखेंगे। आज स्टोरी पढ़ते हैं फिर। ओके, स्टोरी स्टार्ट करते हैं। ओके, ओपन योर contents. सभी ने ज्वाइन कर लिया है ना? किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है ज्वाइन करने में? किसी को कोई इशू तो नहीं है टीम्स पे ज्वाइन करने में? ज़रूरत तो नहीं है कि जो है ना वो जूम का कनेक्शन, जूम का लिंक सेंड किया जाए? Okay, we are going to start the story, The Happy Prince, which is composed or written by Oscar Wilde. Okay, Oscar Wilde intended this story to be read to children. Okay, as I have told you during the that the story was written by the Oscar Wilde on demand of his son. उसने अपने बेटे की डिमांड पे लिखी थी ये स्टोरी. ओके, सॉरी आई फॉरगॉट दैट देयर आर आल्सो फॉरेन स्टूडेंट्स. ओके, and that's the reason that it apparently sounds just like a children's story or like a kids story, but the appearance or the apparent meaning or the surface meaning of the story is just like a fairy tale, or it is a type of fairy tale, but actually the writer, beneath the surface, the writer wants to convey us a serious and deep meaning, and he tried to highlight the follies, the weaknesses, the wickedness of the society and the different characters of the society, and he has shown a great gap between the two common classes of society, that are the poor class and the rich class, or the ruling class and the masses, public of the society. And he has also shown he has also put satire on educational system of the society of the Victorian era. He has tried to point out the hypocrisy, the snobbishness, and the show off that was present at that time in the society. तो राइटर ने जो है ना ये तमाम आज क्या है, मंडे, जो वीकनेसेस हैं या फॉलीज हैं ये पॉइंट आउट करने की कोशिश किया और इन्हें हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश किया जो स्टोरी में है. तो हम सारी ये जो है ना ड्यूरिंग द स्टोरी वी विल डिस्कस ऑल दिस थिंग्स, We have already discussed that what is satire. सटायर क्या होता है, आयरनी क्या है, सिमिलीज क्या है, मेटाफर, ये सारी चीज़ें हमने डिस्कस की हैं. अब जो है ना हम इनको फर्दर इलेबोरेट करेंगे. वी विल फर्दर इलेबोरेट ऑल दीज थिंग्स एंड वी विल critically evaluate the story through these devices, that how Wilde has used all these devices to highlight the different issues present in the society at Victorian era. इन विक्टोरियन एरा में जो भी सारी चीज़ें थी उनको कैसे हाईलाइट किया है मुख्तलिफ लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस यूज़ करते हुए. तो ये हम जो है ना ड्यूरिंग द स्टडी ऑफ द स्टोरी वी विल डिस्कस.
मैम
वालेकुम अस्सलाम जी.
मैम जी ये स्टायर एक बार बता दें, स्टायर मेटाफर.
Satire is I have told you that satire is something criticism, like criticism in a humorous way or in a light manner, or in a humorous way criticize someone or something or society, right? So satire is हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में जो है ना criticize करना, तनकीद करना और बुराइयों को जो है ना सामने लेके आना हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में या मज़ाहिया अंदाज में या फ़न के अंदाज में, तो उसको सटायर कहते हैं. और व्हाट इज़ मेटाफर? मेटाफर इज़ द कंपैरिजन बिटवीन टू थिंग्स विदाउट यूजिंग द वर्ड ऑफ लाइक और एज इट इज़ यूज्ड इन द सिमिली. जैसे कि सिमिली में होता है एज और एज या लाइक का वर्ड यूज़ करके हम दो चीज़ों में कंपैरिजन करते हैं. उसकी एग्जांपल्स भी मैंने आपको बताई थी. तो उसी तरह से सेम इज़ द केस विद द मेटाफर, दैट मेटाफर इज़ ऑल्सो the comparison between two things but without using the word of of as or like का word use किए बगैर जो है ना उस दो चीज़ों में comparison करना. For example, someone says that he is a lion, so he is a lion, the bravery of the person is compared with the lion, right? So there is a comparison between the bravery of a person and the quality of the attribute of the lion, which is considered that a lion is a very brave animal or whatever like that. So that is metaphor, that we haven't used the word of like or as. For example, if someone says that he is brave like a lion, तो फिर जो है ना ये simile है, then we will say that it is simile because we have used the word of like or as to compare two things, right? Now is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we will start the story. Okay, high above the city on a tall column stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. You can see my screen through screen share. I have shared the text of the story, but you should take the text, the print of the text, so that you may take notes over that print. आपको चाहिए, मैंने आप लोगों से उस दिन भी कहा था कि आप लोगों के पास प्रिंट्स होने चाहिए, हार्ड फॉर्म में हो आपके पास टेक्स्ट की, so that you may take the notes which we will discuss. Yes, प्रिंट्स लिए हैं आपने इसके? मैंने आपसे कहा था कि आपके पास होने चाहिए ताकि आप लोग जो भी हम कहाँ पे सटायर है, कहाँ पे सिमिली है, कहाँ पे मेटाफर है, कहाँ पे यानी कोई भी पॉइंट इस तरह का आता है जो हम स्टोरी के दौरान डिस्कस करेंगे तो आप साथ साथ ऊपर ही नोट्स उसके ले सकें, right? Okay, and when we talk about the language of the story, that is very simple. There are some of the words which can you scan in the dictionary. Otherwise its language is very simple because it's a kids story, so that's why that its language is very simple and clear, and you can read it by yourself. And I have asked you, I have told you that there is also different animated and story, so you can watch them also for better understanding or for entertainment point of view, or you can say that for better understanding. Okay. High above the city on a tall column stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes he had two bright sapphires, and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. So it is told us that there was a statue, and that was the statue of the Happy Prince that was put high on the city on a tall column, right? And he was gilded. The statue of the Happy Prince was gilded. Gilded mean decorated और ornamented. सजाया गया था उसे, ornament किया गया था उसे, cover किया गया था. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold. So how he was in you can say that decorated, or how he was ornamented. He was ornamented with fine thin leaves of fine gold. Means to say very fine gold. With very fine gold he was decorated, or he was ornamented. And moreover, in place of his eyes there was two bright sapphires, two bright big sapphires. There were for in place of his eyes, उसकी आंखों की जगह पे दो बड़े बड़े नीलम थे. उसे बहुत ही उम्दा सोने की पत्तियों से जो है ना डेकोरेट किया गया था. And a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. And on the cover of his sword, उसकी तलवार के कवर के ऊपर there was a large red ruby. जो सुर्ख रंग का एक लाल था, which was glowed or which was gilded on his sword hilt. उसके sword के जो sword hilt था, उसका जो sword hilt यानी sword का जो cover था उसके ऊपर एक बड़ा लाल जड़ा हुआ था. So means to say it was ornamented very beautifully and very preciously. He was very much admired indeed. He is as beautiful as weathercock. So every person who sees that statue of the Happy Prince, he or she can't you can say that can't help but to admire him. जो है ना उसे एडमायर किए बगैर रह नहीं सकता था. इतना ब्यूटीफुली उसे गिल्ड किया गया था एंड ऑर्नामेंट किया गया था कि जो भी उसे देखता था उसको एडमायर करता था, उसकी ब्यूटी को एडमायर करता था. And that is that we have studied about outer beauty, difference between outer beauty and inner beauty. That everyone admire him when he was beautiful outerly. When his outer beauty was admired by everyone, and when he was no more beautiful outerly, then but there was the inner beauty of his, then no one admired him, but he was ultimately rewarded by God. So the writer has shown this, that and there is the message which is given to us, or the theme of we have discussed the theme of the first one, and the first theme or the most important theme of the story is that the outer beauty is nothing, and the inner beauty is everything, or the real beauty. Inner beauty, or the beauty to love others and sacrifice for others, is the actual thing and the real thing. ये हमने पढ़ा था themes जब हमने discuss किए थे, कि उसमें ये भी बताया था कि आउटर ब्यूटी जो है ना वो कुछ नहीं है, कोई चीज़ नहीं है, उसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. एंड अल्टीमेटली द इनर ब्यूटी इज़ द रियल ब्यूटी विच इज़ रिवॉर्डेड बाय गॉड. असल खूबसूरती जो है ना वो दिल की खूबसूरती है और अंदर की खूबसूरती है, जो कि जिसे अल्लाह ताला भी पसंद करते हैं, और उससे रिवॉर्ड भी फाइनली जो है ना अल्टीमेटली दैट इज़ रिवॉर्डेड बाय गॉड. So we will see that that people, or the you can say that mortal human beings, mortal human जो फानी इंसान है, वो आउटर ब्यूटी को ज़्यादा एडमायर करता है, जबकि उसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. और इनर ब्यूटी जो है ना उससे सभी लाताल्लुक होते हैं, उसको कोई एडमायर नहीं करता, और वो किसी को नज़र नहीं आती. वो सिर्फ जो है ना चंद एक लोग जो कह लें कि मार्फत वाले लोग होते हैं, उन्हें ही नज़र आती है. तो इसमें जो है ना राइटर ने उसे यही चीज़ डिस्कस की है. सबसे पहला थीम उसका यही है कि आउटर ब्यूटी जब व्हेन द स्टैचू इज ऑर्नामेंटेड एंड ही preciously, and he is decorated or gilded with fine thin fine gold, thin leaves of fine gold, and he has also two bright sapphires in the place of his eyes, and a great ruby in his sword hilt. So everyone is admiring him, and that beauty is that beauty is of no importance, right? But everyone is admiring him. While on the other hand, when he has not all these precious gems or gold, and he will be no more beautiful, then people will throw him in the furnace, or on the heap of garbage. But uh, but then he will be rewarded by God, because he will be having then the real beauty of helping others, feeling for others, sacrificing for others, and to love others. And that beauty is the real beauty, and for that beauty he will be rewarded by the God. Okay, he was very much admired indeed. He is as beautiful as Weathercock, remarked one of the town councillors, who wished to gain a reputation for having artistic taste. So here you can see that there is also there is a satire. There is satire which is very clear on the town councillor. Town councillor, who is the town councillor? He is a political figure of the society. किसी भी मुआशरे में काउंसलर जो है वो एक political figures के तौर पे जाने जाते हैं. ठीक है, तो काउंसलर ही इज अ पॉलिटिकल फिगर इन द सोसाइटी, and he is he is, you can see here that he is satirized by the writer Oscar Wilde, while through his comment, when he comments that he is as beautiful as a weathercock. ये टाउन काउंसलर जो है इसको ऑस्कर वाइल्ड जो है ना सटायर इस पे कर रहा है, और इस पे तंज कर रहा है इसको एक फ़नी मैनर में, इसकी जो फॉलीज हैं, उसकी बेवकूफ़ियाँ, उसकी अहमकाना गुफ्तगू जो है ना, और उसकी शो ऑफ की हैबिट है, उसको हाईलाइट कर रहा है, दैट हाउ टाउन काउंसलर इज शोइंग ऑफ, और ही इज थिंकिंग जस्ट फॉर गेनिंग ए रेपुटेशन फॉर हैविंग आर्टिस्टिक टेस्ट. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि टाउन काउंसलर जो है वो बताया भी है उसने, राइटर ने, दैट रिमार्क्ड वन ऑफ द टाउन काउंसलर्स हु विश टू गेन अ रेपुटेशन फॉर हैविंग आर्टिस्टिक टेस्ट. वो ये कमेंट क्यों दे रहा है, जस्ट क्यों एडमायर कर रहा है, लोगों को शो करने के लिए कि ही इज हैविंग द आर्टिस्टिक टेस्ट, just to show he is commenting such type of or he is admiring the beauty of the statue of the Happy Prince by commenting in this way that he is as beautiful as a weathercock, just to gain reputation for having artistic taste. He just want to show off the people who are present around us that he is having very good taste of artistic or good taste of aesthetic sense, right? So he just want to get reputation among the people. So weathercock, any one of you know that what is a weathercock, to which he is comparing? And you can see that here he has used a literary device. He is as beautiful as a weathercock. So what literary device the writer has used here? Can you guess?
मैम सिमिली है.
Yes, good. Simile यूज किया है यहाँ पे उसने, और कंपैरिजन है, दो चीज़ों को कंपेयर किया है, उसकी ब्यूटी को जो है ना वेदरकॉक से कंपेयर किया है. द ब्यूटी ऑफ द हैप्पी प्रिंस इज कंपेयर्ड विद द वेदरकॉक. सो एनी वन ऑफ यू नो व्हाट इज अ वेदरकॉक? वेदरकॉक क्या होता है, किसी को पता है? यस, कहीं पे पिक्चर में देखा हो, छोटी क्लासेस में, पाकिस्तान स्टडीज की बुक में कोई पिक्चर देखी हो वेदरकॉक की? मैंने भी जो है ना पिक्चर में ही देखा हुआ है, मैंने भी रियल नहीं देखा हुआ. But okay, I tell you that a weathercock is you can say that is a type of device which was used in the past to knowing the weather. That was, you can say that, stick or directed on the roofs of the houses to know the weather, or you can say that the way of the or you can say that to know about the air or
Directions, ma'am.
yes, you can say that. Sorry, I was sorry. Thank you. I was not getting the word that what should be the exact word. Okay. Directions of the air. That what is the direction of the air, or to know about the weather conditions. So in the past, that was put or erected on the houses to know about the weather or the directions of the air. जो हवाओं का रुख जानने के लिए या वेदर वगैरह जो है ना उसके लिए ये एक कॉक वेदर कॉक लगाया जाता था ऊपर घरों के ऊपर. So you can say that that was not at all that was a beautiful thing. ये कोई खूबसूरत चीज नहीं होती थी. ये एक डिवाइस जस्ट जो है ना होती थी. And you can see that how the town councillor satirized by the writer that he hasn't any artistic taste, or he's how he is fool, or how he is, you can say that rough and dull, that he doesn't know that how to compare a beautiful thing or the beauty of the an artistic piece to the weathercock. उसे उसे यानी ये भी नहीं उसको पता है कि वो कितने एक यानी किस तरह एक आर्टिस्टिक पीस को एक जो है ना किस चीज से कंपेयर कर रहा है. सो ही इज having such type of aesthetic sense or artistic taste, and how the Wilde has in a funny manner pointed his aesthetic sense, that how he is comparing the beauty of the statue, which is very beautiful, which is ornamented or decorated very beautifully with fine golds and sapphires and rubies, and he is comparing the beauty of that with the weathercock. So here the town councillor, which is a political figure, he has been satirized by the writer, right? Who wished to gain a reputation, and his show off, the folly of the show off, the vice of the show off is highlighted by the writer and satirized. Only not quite so useful. So further, what the town councillor is saying, that only not quite so useful, he added. So further, with his comment that he is as beautiful as a weathercock, he has further added that only not quite so useful, that he is beautiful, and how beautiful, like a weathercock. But he is saying that rather he is beautiful, but it is of no use. His beauty is of no use. कहता है कि ब्यूटीफुल जरूर है ये वेदर कॉक की तरह. वेदर कॉक तो कुछ भी नहीं होता, यानी जिस तरह उसकी ब्यूटी को डिस्क्राइब किया गया है राइटर ने, तो उसको कंपेयर कर रहा है और कहेगा खूबसूरत जरूर है लेकिन ये स्टैचू ऑफ द हैप्पी प्रिंस जो है ना वो खूबसूरत जरूर है वेदर कॉक की तरह, लेकिन उसकी ब्यूटी जो है ना वो किसी बेसूद है, वो फायदामंद नहीं है. दैट इज नॉट यूजफुल. He added, and why he added this comment? Because he added fearing lest people should think him unpractical, which he really was not. और इसलिए ये कमेंट उसने ऐड किया कि लोग people may not think about him that he is impractical or unpractical, which he really was not, right? So here again the writer has satirized him. Again जो है ना राइटर ने उसके हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में तंज करते हुए, तंज सटायर किसे कहते हैं? बेसिकली तंज को कहते हैं, तंज के नश्तर चलाना, फनी अंदाज में किसी की जो है ना बेवकूफ़ियों को, अहमकानापन को हाईलाइट करना. तो वही राइटर ने किया. एक तो पहले उसकी शो ऑफ को पॉइंट आउट किया कि कैसे वो वेदरकॉक, उसे पता कुछ भी नहीं है एस्थेटिक सेंस के क्या अच्छी एस्थेटिक्स है, उसकी ज़रा भी एस्थेटिक सेंस अच्छी नहीं है, कोई भी आर्टिस्टिक टेस्ट नहीं है उसके पास, और वो वेदरकॉक को किस तरह से हैप्पी प्रिंस के साथ कंपेयर कर रहा है. और दूसरी फिर वो ये भी चीज़ है सिर्फ जस्ट रेपुटेशन गेन करने के लिए, ये उसकी शो ऑफ है और उसकी हिर्स है, लालच है, रेपुटेशन पब्लिसिटी गेन करने के लिए. और दूसरा फिर वो जो है ना कहता है कि लेकिन उसकी ब्यूटी किसी भी चीज़ से बेफ़ायदा है, कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है उसका, क्योंकि इस चीज़ से डरते हुए कि लोग उसे अनप्रैक्टिकल ना कहें, जो कि वो राइटर कहता है बिल्कुल भी नहीं था. यानी अनप्रैक्टिकल तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होते. ये पॉलिटिशियंस बहुत ही कैलकुलेटेड होते हैं. दे आर वेरी कैलकुलेटेड. द पॉलिटिशियंस आर वेरी practical minded, and they are very calculated persons, right? So here we can see here that Wilde has satirized this political figure, town councillor, that he is not having any artistic taste or aesthetic sense, and moreover he is very calculated and practical, but he is showing that he is having very good aesthetic sense, and he says this comment also to show that people don't think him impractical. Next is another character. So in these 3 or 4 paragraphs, you can see that there are different characters presented by the writer, and they are admiring or they are commenting over the statue of the Happy Prince, or they are admiring the statue of the Happy Prince according to their own situations. So that was town councillor's comment, and he is admiring him according to him his thinking. And then here in the next paragraph we have a mother. Why can't you be like the Happy Prince? Asked a sensible mother of a little boy who was crying for the moon. The Happy Prince never dreams of crying for anything. So here we have there is another character, which is the character of a sensible mother, and his boy is crying for moon. Moon is what do you think? How you can symbolize moon? Moon को आप कैसे symbolize कर सकते हैं? किस चीज़ का symbol है ये? That his little boy is crying for moon, and she is saying that why can't you be like the Happy Prince? तुम Happy Prince की तरह क्यों नहीं हो सकते? जो हर वक्त हमेशा खुश रहता है, who is always been happy, and he has not to face any problem, or he has to not to cry for anything, any luxury, any comfort, right? So how you can say that how the moon is symbolized here? Moon को कैसे symbolize किया गया? Okay, तो क्या मतलब हुआ? गुड, अफोर्डेबल नहीं है उसके लिए, इम्पॉसिबल है, वेरी गुड. तो यानी यहाँ पे ये मून को क्राइंग फॉर द मून इज crying for the things or crying for the comforts of life which that little boy can't get, right? And her mother is saying that why can't you be like the Happy Prince, who doesn't need to cry for the comforts of life, or who is having everything or every comfort or luxury of the life without any wish, right? So she's saying that why can't you be like the Happy Prince? So means to say here the writer has highlighted the injustice of the society, the gap between the poor class and the upper class or the rich class, right? Or you can say that the unjust distribution of wealth is highlighted by this comment or this character of the woman and the boy. यहाँ पे जो है ना इस मदर और इस लड़के के कैरेक्टर के थ्रू यानी सोसाइटी की जो गुर्बत है, जो मुफलिसी है, उसको शो किया है राइटर ने और विक्टोरियन एरिया में, और जो रिच क्लास और पुअर क्लास में जो गैप था, और ये दिखाया है कि किस तरह से गरीब जो हैं दे आर इन मिजरेबल कंडीशन, एंड इवन दे डोंट they can't enjoy the needs or the basic needs of the life. Basic needs भी नहीं है, and they have to, and they cry for everything, and every comfort that is needed to lead a life that is like a moon for them. उनके लिए चांद की तरह है, and that is not affordable for them. जिस तरह चांद जो है ना वो पहुंच से दूर होता है. So every comfort or luxury of life is just like the moon, which is not in the reach of them, of them, right? So the Happy Prince never dreams of crying for anything. So the mother of the little boy is saying that the Happy Prince never dreams of crying for anything because he got everything without crying, और इवन ये क्योंकि उसके पास हर चीज़ है, उसे रोने की क्या ज़रूरत है. तो जो है ना यहाँ पे भी ये भी सटायर है सोसाइटी पे, ये भी सोसाइटी पे सटायर है कि जो सोसाइटी में जो इनजस्टिसेस मौजूद हैं उसकी वेल्थ की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो है ना उस पर, और अमीरों पे सटायर है कि उन्हें जो अपने साथ रहने वाले जो गरीब तबका है उनकी कोई फिक्र नहीं है, बिल्कुल लाताल्लुक होके बैठे हैं, कोई नज़र नहीं आता उन्हें कि वो दूसरों की हेल्प करें। क्लियर? ओके, नाउ कम टू द थर्ड। I am glad there is someone in the world who is quite happy, muttered the disappointed man as he gazed at the wonderful statue. Now there is a disappointed man, the character of a disappointed man that was presented by the writer, and he is gazing or staring mean looking at something uh, for a while, देर तक किसी चीज को घूरते रहना, गौर से देखना, that is gazed. Hey, he gazed at a wonderful statue. So he gazed or he stared at the wonderful statue for a while, for some time, and he comments over his happiness that I'm glad there is someone in the world who is quite happy, because he himself is disappointed and he is not happy. So he muttered mean murmured, बुड़बुड़ाता है, जो मायूस इंसान आदमी है वो बुड़बुड़ाता है कि मैं खुश हूँ कि इस दुनिया में कोई तो खुश है, ठीक है, means to say he is not happy, he is disappointed from his life or the miserable, maybe his miserable condition, right? So that's why that he is commenting this thing, that I'm glad there is someone in the world who is quite happy. Okay, so you can see there everyone in the story, the character which are presented till so far, they are commenting or admiring the statue of the Happy Prince in their own, according to their own condition or according to their own weaknesses, right? Okay, next another character or other characters we can see here, who are the children, charity children. He looks just like an angel, said the charity children as they came out of the cathedral in their bright scarlet cloaks and their clean white pinafores. So here there are some other characters who are the characters of charity children who are coming out of the cathedral. Cathedral is, you can say that, a big चर्च, एक बड़े से चर्च को या क्लीसा जो इनका होता है गिरजा, उसको कैथेड्रल कहते हैं. So they are coming out of that cathedral and they are wearing bright red clocks, right? उन्होंने बहुत शोख रंग के, सुर्ख शोख रंग के चोगे पहने हुए, and they're clean white pinafores, and they are wearing also white pinafores or pajamas, you can say that. And they are commenting over the beauty of the statue of the Happy Prince, that he looks just like an angel, because you can say that the children are the symbol of innocence, because children are innocent themselves. So they are commenting according to them, according to their thinking, according to their condition, that as they are as the charity children are innocent, so is the case with the statue of the Happy Prince, that it also seems to them very innocent like angel. जिस तरह से वो खुद बच्चे जो हैं मासूम होते हैं और चैरिटी चिल्ड्रन जैसे शो किए गए हैं कि कैथेड्रल से निकले हैं, चर्च से निकले हैं, तो जैसे वो मासूम है फरिश्तों की तरह, सेम इज़ द केस विद their thinking or with the image of the Happy Prince which is shown to them. उन्हें जो हैप्पी प्रिंस का स्टैचू है वो भी वैसे ही नजर आता है कि ही इज जस्ट like an angel. So there is another character of mathematical master who asks them that how do you know that, उनसे mathematical master उनसे पूछते हैं कि तुम लोग कैसे जानते हो कि ये एक एंजल की तरह है. How do you know that he is an angel? You have never seen one. तुमने कभी फरिश्ते को नहीं देखा. But we have in our dreams, answered the children. And the mathematical master frowned and looked very severe, for he did not approve of children dreaming. So a mathematical master asked them that how do you know that the statue of the Happy Prince is just look like an angel, because you haven't seen any angel ever. So how can you say that he is an angel? And the children say that yes, we have seen in our dreams. But mathematical master does not approve or accept their their comment, or you can say that he did not approve, because he did not approve children dreaming, because he doesn't think that children can also have dreams. उसे नहीं, वो इस बात को अप्रूव नहीं करता कि बच्चे भी जो है ना वो ख्वाब देखते होंगे. So that's why he frowned them and he looked them severely and strictly. वो उन्हें सख्ती से देखता है, एक सख्त कड़ी निगाह उन पे डालता है. And you can say that as the mathematical masters are have the image of a strict teacher. मैथमेटिकल मास्टर जो है वो हमेशा जो है ना सख्त ज़रा और रिजिड समझे जाते हैं. तो इसलिए कह रहे हैं कि जो अपना माइंड चेंज नहीं करते किसी की भी बात पर, दे आर नॉट फ्लेक्सिबल. दे आर, इट इज़ कंसिडर्ड दैट द मैथमेटिकल मास्टर्स आर नॉट फ्लेक्सिबल. So we can say that here we have criticism on our educational system or the teachers, right? Especially the mathematical teachers, that they are not flexible in their attitude, in their behavior. There is also satire. Okay. Okay, from now we have seen 4 or 5 characters which comment over the beauty of the of the statue of the Happy Prince, according to their own thinking or according to their own situation, right? So we have discussed the satire or the simile, which is and we have critically evaluated these all things which are presented by the writer. So from here, from this paragraph, you can say that the story properly starts. यहाँ से जो है ना अब ये तो कह लें कि आप इंट्रोडक्शन था स्टैचू ऑफ द हैप्पी प्रिंस का. हैप्पी प्रिंस का इंट्रोडक्शन था कि वो कैसा है या उसको लोग कैसे एडमायर करते हैं. ठीक है, अब आगे स्टोरी देखिए. अब आगे एक और नया कैरेक्टर इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया जा रहा है. देयर इज एन अदर कैरेक्टर. These are the two main characters or the major characters of the story. One is the Happy Prince, which is introduced very well by different characters, by using different characters by the writer. राइटर ने जो है ना मुख्तलिफ कैरेक्टर्स यूज़ किए हैं और उनके थ्रू जो है ना उसको एडमायर किया है और इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया है उसकी ब्यूटी को, हैप्पी प्रिंस की, राइट. हैप्पी प्रिंस की ब्यूटी को introduce karwaya, that how the statue of the Happy Prince is beautifully and preciously gilded or ornamented, and how the people who see this statue, how they admire him. Now the writer is going to introduce the other major character, the second major character of the story, that is Little Swallow. So who is that? One night there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind, for he was in love with the most beautiful reed. He had met her early in the spring as he was flying down the river after a big yellow moth, and he had been so attracted by her slender waist that he had stopped to talk to her. Okay, do you know what is a reed? Reed क्या है? कोई बता सकता है? रीड किसे कहते हैं? Yes, class. Do you know about read? नहीं? Okay, डिक्शनरी में आप इसे चेक कर.
Ma'am, reed is like a snake that cannot fly and live in river.
Okay, reed is R-E-E-D. Reed. Reed is like a snake.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. गूगल पे सर्च किया?
No, ma'am.
फिर कैसे पता चला?
स्टोरी सुनी थी।
ओके, रीड की। ओके,
प्रिंस की।
उसमें उसमें रीड होती है। ओके, लेकिन ये यहाँ पे जो है ना शायद हो सकता है, लेकिन रीड जो है ना एक फसल का नाम है। इट्स अ नेम ऑफ अ प्लांट, REED, रीड। एक फसल का नाम है।
सरकंडा।
हाँ बिल्कुल, सरकंडा जैसे होता है, उसको कहते हैं रीड। और यानी वो जो है ना उसकी कह लें कि आप उसकी मोहब्बत में गिरफ्तार, यानी ये इस तरह से शो किया गया है। वो जो फेरी टेल ही है ना, एंड फेरी टेल, वी नो दैट दिस इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ द फेरी टेल, दैट देयर आर द कैरेक्टर्स which are not real, and they are imaginary characters. So here reed is, you can say that, a type of plant like wheat की तरह की, गंदम की तरह जैसे एक फसल होती है। And it is shown that the little fellow was in love with that beautiful reed, right? And the other fellows, the fellows of that little fellow has gone to Egypt, because I have told you that that little birds, or these birds, migrate towards the hot regions in during the winter in the Europe. जब भी यूरोप में मौसम सरमा आता है, तो उससे पहले पहले ये जो सारे बर्ड्स हैं, ये गर्म इलाकों की तरफ माइग्रेट कर जाते हैं, लाइक इजिप्ट. सो his other fellows or his friends have already gone to Egypt 6 weeks before. But this fellow has not migrated because he was in love with a beautiful reed, and that reed was, and due to that that reed, he, yes. ओके, मैंने अटेंडेंस लेने के लिए ओके, and due to that reed, or due to love with that reed, he left behind, and now he was thinking about to migrate or to go to the Egypt. So one night there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind. वो पीछे रह गया था, but he was in love with beautiful, most beautiful reed. Okay, ये एक टाइप का प्लांट है, तो इससे शो किया गया है कि he was left behind because of the love of that reed. He had met her early in the springs as he was flying down the river after a big yellow moth. तो ये जो है ना अर्ली स्प्रिंग में उससे मिला था, और कब, कैसे, as he was flying down the river after a big yellow moth, when he was chasing a yellow moth, that is a type of insect, right? You know that yellow moth क्या होता है? एक टाइप का इंसेक्ट है, जिसको पकड़ने के लिए, जिसका शिकार करने के लिए वो जो स्वेलो है उसके पीछे, उसको चेस कर रहा था, उसके पीछे उड़ रहा था, उड़ते हुए जो है ना दरिया के पास वो इससे मिला था. मीन्स टू से, यस यस, वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
मैम मैम स्क्रीन नहीं शो हो रही.
स्क्रीन नहीं शो हो रही? नहीं, अब तो हो रही है. अभी भी नहीं हो रही?
नो मैम, मुझे तो नहीं हो रही.
हो रही है. आप दोबारा से, आप फिर लीव करके दोबारा से ज्वाइन करें.
ओके.
अच्छा, इस पैराग्राफ के बाद ना हम थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं, तो फिर 5 मिनट बाद हम दोबारा ज्वाइन करते हैं. ठीक है. Okay, for he was in love with the most beautiful reed. He had met her early in the spring as he was flying down the river after a big yellow moth. Okay, so he met that beautiful reed while he was chasing in the early spring, while he was chasing a big yellow moth. Means to say that insect, near the river, and he had been so attracted by her slender waist, that he slender means slim waist, that he had stopped to talk her. So you can say that here love story type is told by the writer just to add spice to the story. So it is shown that he had been he had been in love with the reed, and he was impressed by her slender waist. And okay. Shall I love you? Said the swallow. So swallow asked to that reed that may I love you, who liked to come to the point at once. And the reed made him a low bow, so he flew round and round her, touching the water with his wings. Means to say, he fluttered that reed. It is shown by the writer, and he shown him the little swallow shown him the low bows, right? So he flew round and round her, touching the water with his wings and making silver ripples. This was his courtship. Okay, all that courtship is what? Making love, right? Courtship is what? That courtship is called the making love or the flirtation between a couple, you can say that, right? So that is courtship. So this was his courtship, and how he courtshiped that reed, it is shown by the writer in this paragraph. And it lasted all through the summer, right? So their courtship lasted or remained through all the summer, and it is a ridiculous attachment, twittered the other swallows. Now the other swallows, the fellow swallows of that little swallow, are whispering about him that it is a very ridiculous attachment. यानी उसकी attachment जो एक reed के साथ है, that is a type of plant. So that is the other swallows are saying, or they are whispering with each other, that, and they are twittering with each other, and they are saying that it is a very ridiculous attachment. यानी एक रीड के साथ, एक पौधे के साथ इसकी अटैचमेंट है. तो ये बड़ी, यानी उस तरह वो चहमगोइयाँ, बाकी swallows जो हैं वो उसके बारे में इस तरह चहमगोइयाँ कर रहे हैं, एक दूसरे के साथ सरगोशियाँ कर रहे हैं कि is he a fool, or it is a very ridiculous thing that he is in love with the plant, right? So these all things shows that it is a fairy tale, because these all things, or that type of narrations, or that type of scenes, or plots, or you can say that events are not present in real life, right? So we know that what is a fairy tale which is having the imaginary characters, and the scenes or the plot of that is also far from reality. फेरी टेल होती वो है जिसके सारे कैरेक्टर्स, जिसके जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं, जो मेन कैरेक्टर्स हैं, वो इमेजिनरी कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, और वो उसके इवेंट्स भी जो है ना वो रियलिटी से दूर होते हैं. तो ये आपको नज़र आ रही हैं सारी चीज़ें कि रियलिटी में तो ऐसे नहीं होता ना, ठीक है. शी हैज़ नो मनी एंड फार टू मैनी रिलेशंस, एंड इंडीड द रिवर वाज क्वाइट फुल ऑफ रीड्स. और वो यानी बाकी swallows जो हैं उसके बारे में ट्विटर करते हैं, एंड दे विस्पर अमंग ईच अदर that attachment is very ridiculous. Why that is ridiculous? Because she has no money and far too relations. So how you can see that these lines, what shows these lines? Okay, tell me, what do you get about the society, or the behaviors of the people which are also present in our society today? आपको जो है ना इस चीज़ से क्या जो है ना, किस तरह उसने एक जो है ना एक फ़न के अंदाज में, एक हल्के फुल्के अंदाज में एक और चीज़ जो है ना, एक और विकेडनेस सोसाइटी की जो है एक और बुराई को हाईलाइट किया हुआ है. किस तरह, क्या लगता है आपको? इट इज़ अ रिडिकुलस अटैचमेंट, ट्विटर्ड द अदर swallows. And why do they are saying that it is a ridiculous? Why? Because she has no money. That